All right. Yeah, I think we're live. Yes, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a video that has been almost a week in the making. I am finally going to unleash all of my feelings about Disney Investor Day and all the emotions that came out of it. But I could not do it alone. I brought on two very special friends to help me out with this. Those of you that saw the Star Wars pod that I just uploaded a couple days ago, if you haven't checked it out by now, please do so. Please welcome back to the channel, Andrew Stebbins. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Recovering from all the hate from that video.
And all the arguments that were going on in the chat. Oh man, yeah, there were many arguments to be had about Star Wars, and I'm sure we're gonna have some more of that with all these announcements that are coming up. But
oh yeah,
my friends, I am so happy to also introduce to you guys one of the nicest fellas in the world. He has been a friend of mine for a really long time, probably since high school, I would say. Yeah, high school. Please welcome fellow geek. Yeah, one of the nicest guys I know, Philippe Savenson. Philippe, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Zach. I'm excited to be here on your show. Super pumped, ready to talk Disney as always. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Ready? Yeah, it's been a long time coming, my friend. I've wanted you on my show for a while, so I'm glad to have you on finally. And I'm really glad
happy to be here.
Yeah, man. I am really happy to start, just spouting out some Disney thoughts and concerns. And this is also, we're going to treat this also as a live Q&A with you, the viewers. Welcome everybody that's filing in. If you have a question, if you have a thought about, all this stuff that was coming out of Disney Investor Day, feel free to put that in the chat. And I'm going to try and get to all these comments that are coming in as they do. And as people are continuing to file in, of course. But yeah, my goodness, Disney Investor Day was quite the whirlwind of emotions. We got Zack Talk live. Kevin, welcome back, my friend. It's always good to have you in the chat. So Disney Investor Day was something else. It wasn't ideal. Obviously, considering the year 2020, it's the Error 404 year of our lifetime. But it was still really cool to see all that stuff, and it's something else to look forward to. But in order, the first thing they announced, did both of you guys see like the trailer and like all that stuff for the next animated film, Raya and the Last Dragon?
Oh, I did watch the trailer for that. To be honest, I'm excited. That looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
I want to see how that goes from her being the young age to now like that newer, like, I don't know, almost what Ninja Warrior was it? And then riding like kind of the giant like beast that she had. It looks cool to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It looks pretty good. I'm getting some Brave vibes from that movie.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that comparison.
Getting some Brave, Brave. If the main character of Brave was Jasmine, kind of from Aladdin.
Yeah, kind of.
Get some good vibes from this movie.
Yeah, she is in fact being voiced by Kelly Marie Tran, who most people know as Rose from the Star Wars sequel trilogy, who got a lot more hate than she deserved. She, none of the writing of Rose was her fault, so don't hate on her. Hate the game. I'm excited to see what...
Happy she'll have a good role to play this time.
Yeah. Dude, totally. And you have Aquafina. Aquafina was all over these announcements. Man, I'm excited to see what she does with this dragon and all the other roles that she's getting. They announced she was playing Scuttle in the Little Mermaid live action film, which has been rumored for a while. Yeah. I mean, Rob Marshall, I'm sure, is going to do a good job on it, but it's another Disney live action film, and they gender swapped Scuttle, and Halle Bailey playing Ariel, I believe that's her name. She's going to do a really spectacular job, I'm sure. They announced Melissa McCarthy was playing Ursula.
Oh,
I don't know how to feel about that. Last I remembered, I don't think she could sing. But that's what they went with. But yeah. So getting back to the Raya and the Last Dragon thing, that they announced was going to theaters and to Disney Plus same day release. So this is what they did with Mulan. Did either of you guys see Mulan?
I did not.
You know what? My family has it on the Disney Plus. I have not due to school. All comments from my family were it was very pretty visually, but it wasn't like all there, but like the visuals were very nice.
You guys lucked out for sure. It was not worth the $30 for sure. For Premiere Access, and like it kind of disheartened me that they brought it back again. But I'm assuming Raya can only be a better movie than Mulan. But we'll see what happens. That's in lieu of all the Warner Brothers announcements that. Man, Warner Brothers really gypped all of their artists for the next year. So, man, all their films going to HBO Max the same day. What's up, Leo? If you guys have not checked out his channel, please do so. And he says Mulan was oof. I could not agree more, my friend. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see how Raya does on Disney Plus. But that was like the only big announcement that they made in the first half. But the second half was pretty much where all of these announcements were coming in, one after the other. Weird that Soul was free, but Raya is a charge. Yes, that's a good point. Pete Docter came out and shilled Soul later on, and it looks amazing. I have not seen it yet. It comes out on Christmas Day.
I want to see it.
Oh, man, it looks like a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Fantastic, for sure. I cannot wait to see that. But I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I do agree with you. I don't know why they would charge for Raya but not Soul, because I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but it looks like Soul's going to be the better movie.
Could be. I mean, it just depends. I know for me, when it comes to Disney Plus, since I'm like a family of 6, when you pay $30, that's like $5 a ticket a person. So it like the cost is kind of justified, but when it's one person having to pay $30, that's I could have bought the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you split it with one other person, if you split it with your girlfriend like I did, like it's $15.
$15.
But I'm like, this version of Mulan wasn't even worth $5. So,
dang. Okay.
It was so boring. Like I have a full review with my thoughts. So, yeah, if anybody's at all curious about that, please check that out. Okay. He's also asking what has been y'all's favorite movies of 2020. Man, I don't know if. I mean, there were a lot of things that came out in 2020, but at the same time, with theaters closing up, there just wasn't. But off the top of my head, I would say Tenet for sure. Unhinged was really fun, mostly because I saw that at a drive-in. I mean, recently, I would say probably Sound of Metal. Sound of Metal was fantastic, but other than that, I'm just not really thinking. Yeah, and what's up, Amanda? Check out her channel also. Agreed. Mulan was so bad I couldn't deal. Yeah. Nobody could deal out something as terrible as Mulan. But yeah. So, what are you anticipating most from Disney Investor Day? So, getting into the meat of this little live pod. So, we're just gonna go in order. After intermission, Kathleen Kennedy of Lucasfilms came out, and she gave us some big jaw-dropping announcements for the Star Wars universe. Lots of love for Sound of Metal already in the comments, but that is amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing film. Definitely check that out. I've got a review of that. So let's just look at this lineup real quick for Star Wars. I mean, looking at it, this was a lot of content that they've revealed here. So she started off by shilling how great The Mandalorian is, which it is.
Yeah.
Like, Philippe, you know how good The Mandalorian is.
I actually recently watched the first season with my family. We're going to be starting the second season soon. I gotta say, phenomenal. Love Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
If I could just watch a compilation of that on YouTube, I probably would.
I got recently mail came in. I got him.
Nice. Oh, look at
I
that.
got him.
Nice.
Look at that.
I'll put him right here.
Let's put him full screen real quick.
Let's
Show
put
it off.
him full screen, ladies and gentlemen, for the low price of $25. You can purchase your own Mandalorian.
Sick.
Put him down,
sick.
as
Look
well
at
as
that.
another
Look
little
at
fun thing. Let me grab him.
that.
Oh no, he fell.
What do we got?
Oh, yeah! Even smaller Baby Yoda. Miniature.
He's the smallest little baby you can
I
ever
will
find.
I will not spoil it for Philippe, but those of you that know. Baby Yoda, I have to call him for right now, Baby Yoda, as much as it pains me because he's not Yoda. But
yeah, I mean, he's the child. He is of the same species, but
yeah, my girlfriend cannot get over calling him Baby Yoda, and we just have debates and arguments about that. But
having a
in any
relationship
case,
if it would make
yes.
the child was so cute. I loved his green skin and long ears.
Yes. Yeah. If you were to call him Yoda's species in infant form, I would accept that as well. But he was given an official name in season 2, so I'll just leave that.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm seeing Leo spam his name in the comments, so just for Philippe's sake, I will not show that.
All good.
But he also says Sound of Metal was so good. I agree with you, my friend. Kevin has a really interesting question, and front and center, there it is. How do you feel about Hayden Christensen coming back for the Obi-Wan series? That Hayden Christensen news was the highlight. I don't care. I actually screamed. I screamed too, Amanda. Yeah. We're all talking about this right in the center, the Obi-Wan series.
Most anticipated series.
Yeah. How do you feel about this, Philippe? Ewan McGregor returning. Hayden Christensen confirmed to be returning as Darth Vader.
Oh wow, that's. I don't know. I think that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
Love it.
It's probably It's like I'm excited.
Oh, me too. That was probably like one of. It wasn't one of. It was probably my favorite Star Wars announcements. I can't wait for Hayden to come back. Yes, I'm guessing in flashbacks. I don't know. It's probably. It may pick up right where Revenge of the Sith left off, which I'm sure Stebbins will be really happy to see that. But yeah, Kevin also says that's what I'm thinking, probably flashbacks. But Obi-Wan is probably the thing I'm most excited for. They did not announce it explicitly, but Kathleen Kennedy was showing us the trailer for Mandalorian Season 2, which the finale is coming out on Friday. I will have a video coming up solo about my thoughts of the full season probably this weekend. So stay tuned for that to the viewers. I didn't do it episode by episode. So I'll just do the full season right there for you guys. But they did announce shortly after Investor Day that it was renewed for Season 3, and that will be coming out Christmas Day of next year. So
what a Christmas present that is.
What a present that is. What a present.
Christmas.
What a present all of these are. Which one are you guys like looking at them? Just looking at the titles. Which ones are you most excited for? We already touched on Obi-Wan, but what are you guys thinking?
I have to say, after Obi-Wan, the Bad Batch show is very much on my list because it is the legacy show, pretty much, of the Clone Wars, and that is such a beloved series for anyone who grew up with it. We were so happy. I was so happy when it got renewed for the 7th season and got to finish it off as it properly should have been. And now we're getting the sequel to tie in some stuff, and it looks awesome. The trailer is fantastic.
Oh,
and I'm just so great. For
it. Looks fantastic. The trailer that played during Investor Day was awesome. What do you think, Philippe?
I mean, just by looking at the title wise, I can kind of like been like staring at the corner of Acolyte for a while. I kind of just like how
yeah.
that looks pretty cool. I'm excited. I don't know which of these is gonna have Jar Jar Binks back because I feel like
I would honest answer. Probably gonna be the most likely will be in Visions.
Yeah,
I understand what that show is gonna be.
Probably, yeah. Visions is supposed to be the anime show, and he feels like an anime character.
I'm excited if it works. I won't be upset if it works.
Yeah, I mean, if I had my creative say, Jar Jar would be in none of these, but I can't always have my way. But yeah, Bad Batch looks awesome. Just judging from that trailer, animation looks great. The Acolyte, I agree with you, Philippe. That's something I'm really fascinated by because it's looking at the High Republic, so it's looking at a completely different era of Star Wars that we've never delved into before. So we're getting all new characters here. Completely different era. I'm really curious to see how things like the Force are used in that one. Probably not the Force, but it's probably going to be like a big spy espionage epic. But also in the animation department, you have Visions, which is supposed to be this like anime style show. I'm not too big into anime, so I'm not looking forward to that one as much as some of these other ones. You have a droid story, which looks like a bunch of shorts centered around 3PO and R2.
Oh, fun!
It's another thing for the kids, I suppose. You know what? One thing I'm really excited for, and Sebens is going to be really surprised by this. I'm really excited to see how Andor turns out.
I know. I am surprised that you say that.
Yeah, because Kevin said something in the comments about Rogue One. He asked me why I would diss Rogue One like that. It's because Rogue One, a lot of those characters were just boring. I'm sorry, but Cassian, I feel like could really benefit from a series, and it looks really, really neat. So I'm really excited to see how that one turns out. You also got Lando. They announced he was getting a series. Kind of surprising, kind of out of the blue. I'll take it if Donald Glover comes back.
Yeah.
What people are speculating online is that the ideal fan setup of the series would be old Billy D. Williams, aka Old Lando, relating the stories of his youth and then flashbacking to a young Donald Glover acting out that. And that would be amazing.
That'd be sick. That would be really cool. Just that tie-in together, and then I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. That would be good.
Yeah, I would love to hear that narration. So that Billy D. Williams doing that narration, his suave, usual self, probably talking to a bunch of ladies in a bar about it. I can just see it now. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how that one turns out too. We talked a lot about Obi-Wan. The Mandalorian season 3 is coming out, but they announced 2 spin-off series right here on the top and bottom. Rangers of the New Republic sounds like the Cara Dune series to me. She's just not as interesting of a character as a lot of the other ones in The Mandalorian are. I mean, Gina Carano's a badass, but this sounds like her series. And I'm like, not that, but this is the one I'm really, really looking forward to. The Ahsoka Tano series, Rosario Dawson returning. Kind of a spoiler for season 2. This isn't really too integral to the story, Philippe, but you do get Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars or Rebels or whatever it was.
Both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, or both. Yeah, she's just both. Yeah, you do get Ahsoka Tano in one of those episodes, and she is a badass.
Cool.
Yeah, and apparently they're going the Marvel route, and they're linking both of those series to the Mandalorian, and they're going to make a big event one. So, yeah, fun stuff right there. The only movie that they announced, or movies rather, they announced Indiana Jones 5, which we already knew. Harrison Ford's send off. James Mangold directing it. I like it. I mean, I like Steven Spielberg as much as the next guy, but James Mangold is a more than capable director.
Crystal Skull was okay.
We don't talk about Crystal Skull.
We have to, because it's Indiana Jones 5.
Could
It's
you?
the continuation of a series that includes the Crystal Skull. We know we
This-
don't like to talk about the Crystal Skull, but it happened. We can't deny it happened. But we can move on from it and become better people because of it.
Han Solo, I love more than Indiana Jones because at least his son became a rogue Jedi, and Indiana Jones's kid just became Shia LaBeouf.
Dude, what's wrong with Shia, my boy?
I know. Nothing against Shia LaBeouf at all. Like, back in 2011, though, like, yeah, Leo says Crystal Skull, yuck, man. Yeah, you're totally right. But the other film that was announced is this little guy up here, Rogue Squadron. It's going to be directed by Patty Jenkins from the Wonder Woman series. I love seeing that a female director is coming in to do a Star Wars film, but I have no clue what is up with this one. And I'm really fascinated to see what it is all about.
It's going to be interesting.
Probably about
I think
Rogue
she's
Squadron.
a more than capable director. Because Wonder Woman is the best DC cinematic movie, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman 84 hasn't come out yet, so that might be better.
Yeah.
But like Wonder Woman is like the best one,
Mhm.
and
I really like
think she'll do a
Aquaman.
great job.
That could be a second.
Aquaman is number 2, probably. Aquaman was good though. I did like it because it had Tamora Morrison in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jango Fett was Aquaman's dad.
Yeah, but you also have a girl we don't talk about as Aquaman's significant other. I'm really curious to see what Rogue Squadron is all about. This whole slate looks awesome. I'm just going to catch up on some of these comments real quick. Leo asks about the Obi-Wan series. Do you think that Hayden will be in the suit? If so, please sub in James Earl Jones in for the voice. I don't know, man.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think, if they were going to make such a big deal to bring Hayden back, as much as I'd love to see James Earl Jones step in and do the voice, like, you have to assume Hayden's going to unmask at some point. Like, so might as well just, like, do the Kylo Ren deal and have him take the mask off periodically. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I could see it. I mean, if they had to do it in The Mandalorian, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And in every Star Wars series, we're now just going to have that one episode or a few episodes. Now when the mask comes off, it's got to happen. It's got to be the signature thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they may end up doing is kind of doing a bit of a hybrid thing. What I would love to see is some flashbacks involving Hayden Christensen. Now, they specifically said he's going to play Darth Vader, so we may see sort of a recut of the duel from Revenge of the Sith, which would be super awesome.
Oh.
We might see more of that. We might see sort of like the Force Ghost fights, like we do sometimes in other Star Wars films, which would also be awesome. But either way, I trust the people in charge. Because the Star Wars TV series, and by series I mean series because it's one of them, have not sucked. So
I feel like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have both single-handedly saved the whole franchise from just sinking into the obsolescence of just geekdom, I suppose. That was a weird way to put it, but I mean, Obi-Wan, this whole series, like, this was one of my 3 favorite announcements on the whole night. Easily. Kevin is also curious about Acolyte because I heard it's supposedly taking place in the new expanded universe High Republic. Yes, that's correct. It will be a completely new era of Star Wars, probably taking place like thousands of years before the whole Skywalker saga. So talked a little bit about that earlier. I'm really excited to see how that pans out also. And everybody is hating on me for my Rogue One comments.
As they should.
Philippe, you were in the theater with me when we saw Rogue One. You remember that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You totally were, and I feel like I told you, like, listen, these characters were so boring aside from freaking K2SO. Like,
I mean, to be honest, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I thought it was an okay movie, but at the same time too, I'm maybe not as big of a Star Wars fan as other people, but like movie-wise, I didn't think it was too bad. Thought it was decent.
It wasn't a bad film, but to me, what makes the Star Wars films so memorable are the characters. And I don't want to retread a point I made with the podcast I did with Andrew a couple days ago, but that movie annoyed me. It's not that I won't rewatch it, but I just can't get past those problems personally. And they're also, Amanda's so excited for Lando. I wanted Solo too, but this is good enough, and that's a great point. Solo was fun, but could have been better. I mentioned this also. Did not have Disney Plus to benefit from. I feel like Solo could have been a much better series than a movie. So, I do expect to see Alden. I do expect to see Alden Ehrenreich come back as Solo in that also.
I think it's a very high possibility. Do some inter-flashbacks. This could just be Han Solo to the sequel series. Yes. I don't know.
Crystal Skull getting a lot of hate. Kevin is saying Crystal Skull is better than the sequel trilogy. Oh man. I disagree, my friend. I'm sorry.
I disagree as well. It's simply because, like we talked about, Zack, Force Awakens and Last Jedi exist.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, any final thoughts on these Star Wars announcements before we move on to the Disney tentpoles, fellas?
I'm good.
All right. Well, I'll just stop.
I think this is good. I'm excited for this when it comes out.
Cool. Well, I do not have a picture for the Disney tentpoles, but we're just going to go off a couple of quick little bullet points. But Kevin says Philippe has spoken real quick. Philippe is voting people off the island now. Let's see. Leo says congrats on 400, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, we just passed 400 subscribers on the channel. Thank you all so much for your support. Truly.
400 beautiful people.
400 beautiful people and more to come. If you haven't yet, definitely do consider subscribing down below. Hit that button as hard as you possibly can. I feel like I'm just getting started, my friends. So let's see. Hot take, Birds of Prey was the best DCEU film.
Oh, that one was actually still pretty good too. I'm not sure if it was like maybe top, but I did also enjoy like the action of it. I thought that's what I really enjoyed from it.
Yeah.
Counter hot take. I enjoyed Suicide Squad more than Birds of Prey.
Wow.
Counter hot take.
Dang. Okay.
Man,
I couldn't with. I loved Ewan McGregor as Black Mask because it's Ewan McGregor and he's fantastic. But great casting, and I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I just couldn't with that movie. I think there was a lot of mistakes made in many areas.
Man, like I feel like here's the thing. I'm a lot nicer on Suicide Squad than most other people are. It came out at a time where I really needed a cheer up, and Suicide Squad definitely brought that. So I think I'm a little bit more generous to that movie than a lot of other people are. But yeah, I think Birds of Prey is better. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was about to say that Suicide Squad is like good.
I would agree
Everybody's
with that.
I enjoyed myself better than Birds of Prey. I'm not saying like it's not top movie. It's still bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing it in the comments right now.
I am the hot take king. First I put Rogue One above Empire Strikes Back, and now I put Suicide Squad over Birds of Prey.
Unbelievable.
I'm just wrecking everyone. Everyone's going to unsubscribe from the channel because Zack associates himself with me.
Thanks. Kevin says Force Awakens, A New Hope, but bad. Force Awakens is just a retread of The New Hope, but it's not bad. Next step, 4 million. I'll just hide that. I mean, but okay. So let's look at these Disney tentpoles real quick before we get too carried away. I'm not going to go through every single one. I will say a couple of the big ones they announced. We already talked about the Little Mermaid remake. Harry Styles somehow is not playing Prince Eric, and I'm really upset about it. 'Cause, hey, I like One Direction. I'm not afraid to admit that. So yeah, Little Mermaid was announced. They showed a little teaser showed up a little teaser for Jungle Cruise with The Rock and Emily Blunt.
It's gonna be good. I like The Rock.
Who doesn't like The Rock?
Yeah.
That dude's my idol. I don't care what anyone says. He's great. Can't wait to watch that. They also announced the Mighty Ducks is getting a series on Disney Plus. And they actually did show a trailer with Emilio Estevez returning as Coach Bombay. That really excited me because this show actually, I don't think enough people are talking about this. This looks like Disney's answer to Cobra Kai. Like, honestly,
okay.
Just judging from the trailer. Now, granted, probably. I don't think it's going to be as good as Cobra Kai. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. But one other thing I should mention about it, they called it Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Looking at you, Disney. Survivor did Game Changers first, and it was not that good. So I don't like that omen. So so yeah, we got that. They also announced a Gaston and LeFou live action Disney Plus series with Josh Gad and Luke Evans both returning. I like me some Beauty and the Beast is the next guy, but I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with those characters. So
yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not saying it could be bad, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Harry Styles can't act. Wow, I disagree. What is up with you guys? Dunkirk was just him dragging around? No. What the heck is up with this? Mick Foley doesn't like The Rock. That's a lie. Francisco, what's up, Francisco? 80s nostalgia is real. Yeah, I agree. You know, we got Cobra Kai season 3 coming out in a few weeks on Netflix.
Oh,
so excited for that. Yeah. You like Cobra Kai, Philippe?
Oh, I love it. Oh man, second season end though crushed me. I was sad for probably a day or two, just because.
I haven't yet watched Cobra Kai, so that's on my list.
Oh, okay. No spoilers for Sevens because he needs to watch it then. So,
all right.
I've seen the trailers.
Second season, actually, happy ending. Everything's fine. I'm just kidding.
Okay. It's okay.
Depends all on how you look at it. But let's see. So, do I have a Disney animation picture? I'm not sure. I don't think I do. I have Pixar, I have Marvel, and I have Star Wars. Yeah, I don't have Disney. But they did announce some new animation projects as well. There are a few series that are coming to Disney Plus that are based off of some of the more recent classic Disney films. Moana is getting a series.
Oh,
that'll be fun.
I don't know how to feel about that. The Princess Tiana series from Princess and the Frog, I'm all for that. I am all for that. I'm so excited to see what else they do with that character. I would have preferred a Moana sequel in theaters, but it is what it is. We do get Zootopia getting a series, Zootopia Plus on Disney Plus.
Zootopia. That's very lazy naming, but okay.
I know, man.
Case files of Zootopia. I don't know.
Yeah, Zootopia is one of my favorite Disney films. Personally, I don't care what anybody says. I love that thing. Anybody who watched my pod with Lauren, anybody who watched my pod with Lauren will know that. I will say this series is a better alternative than giving Flash the Sloth his own movie.
Yes, it is.
Because there is no way. As funny as he is, there is no way that you could do the slow motion for a whole hour and a half. Like, it's, as genius as that idea is. But Francisco is so shocked that Gaston is getting a series. He doesn't think he's worthy. Not if Luke Evans is playing him.
The origin story, the rise of Gaston.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Aubrey says we cried at something. Maybe that's
for Cobra Kai. That's when I was talking about that. 'Cause I watched it. Aubrey and I watched it together, and we were just saying we were upset. But it was still good. But we're anticipating the third season.
You cried at the happy ending?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that's what happens when you get happy and you cry, Zach. That people emotions.
Tears of joy.
Cisco says, God, they should let the princesses stick to movies, in my opinion. Well, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I don't know, man. I think we should at least give the Tiana series a shot. Maybe to an extent the Moana series, but I don't know.
If they're better than those, like the DreamWorks, the Disney and DreamWorks both do this. When they have a successful movie, they make a weird 2D animated series based off of that movie. Have you seen those? I don't like those series at all. The Croods one, my sisters were addicted to the Croods series for a long time. And it's terrible. I hate it. Now, I will say, they did a Tangled series, and that was actually very good. But 90% of a failure is bad. So 10% does not save anything.
Yeah, and I'm sure if my girlfriend is in the chat, she'd be losing it over that Tangled series. But if you want a hot take, I don't even like the Croods.
That's fair.
It's
what?
It's just fine. It's just fine movie. Not the best DreamWorks movie.
I mean, to be honest, it's been a while since I've watched the Croods, so I mean, I wouldn't mind having it on Netflix, though.
You're not missing much, honestly, but they did announce one new animated film, unless I'm forgetting one. They did talk a little bit about Raya and the Last Dragon, which looks awesome.
Thumbs up.
They did announce that Lin Manuel Miranda is doing the music for the next Disney animated film after that, called Encanto. It's going to be taking place in Colombia. Oh, looks so good.
My boy Lin.
You gotta love Lin. Hamilton. Actually, that's one movie I was forgetting. To your question earlier, Leo, a lot of people don't think Hamilton is a conventional movie per se because it's a recorded performance, but wasn't anything like Hamilton this year.
I counter you with the Shrek the Musical theatrical release that is on Netflix.
We're talking about this year.
I don't care. It's Shrek the Musical. I always talk about that.
Yeah, fun fact. To those of you who don't know, Shrek is a musical.
Yes, it is. And it's a dang good musical.
It sure is. Yes, Evans and I both had the pleasure of being in it back in the day. Kevin says Raya and the Last Dragon looks awesome. I agree, man. Fantastic. I'm excited to see it. But here's a comment that's interesting, which is a brilliant segue into the next topic here, gentlemen. Michael, what's up, buddy? In the comments, he says he's a bit disappointed that Patrick Warburton is not reprising Buzz for Lightyear since he did VA for him in the animated series. I'm assuming you're talking about Star Command there. Hey, with this casting,
no, that's true. Totally forgot.
Yeah,
but there was that animated thing here.
I don't know. Patrick Warburton down at the bottom of the screen. What do you think of this?
Hey, I was really disappointed to not get the call. It's whatever.
Had to get
that. Win them all.
But that, Michael, that is a brilliant segue into the next topic we're talking about, because Pete Docter took the stage with a bunch of Pixar announcements.
Pixar.
Look at all of these beautiful titles here. Just kind of going in order. First one is obvious, Soul right here. Some of you in the comments have already seen Soul, and I'm really jealous of you for that. I cannot wait to watch this. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
yeah, it looks great. It looks great from what I've seen from the trailers and all like the little. I'm just excited to see what the story is, the like kind of the heartfelt story, because to me it feels like it'd be very similar to like Inside Out, just like kind of that kind of pull at feelings and such, of like we know our emotions now. What does our soul do? So it's totally stoked.
From what I've been reading about it and what I've been seeing about it, it looks like Inside Out merged with It's a Wonderful Life, and you get Soul.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like it just has a similar message to it. It's a Wonderful Life is fresh in my mind because I just rewatched it recently. So that's just kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. I'm very excited to look at that finally. Kevin also says he's excited for Soul. I am too, man. I am too. But here's what's interesting. Pixar also announced that they're getting 3 new series on Disney Plus as well. First of all, you got Doug Days. Doug from Up is getting his own little spin-off series. And Carl Fredricksen is returning. I mean, it looks adorable. I showed my girlfriend the trailer, and she was crying over how cute the puppies are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure the kids will enjoy it. Do you like Doug, Philippe?
I think Doug is great. I'd be interested to see how the show would do, but I feel like I loved his just character so much in the movie. I hope it doesn't get worn down like over the show, like on like kind of pushing it too hard. But I think that should be good. I mean, I like Doug. I mean, squirrel. Sorry.
Where's the squirrel? How about you, Stebbins? Any thoughts on Doug Days?
I mean, I just one of those ones you have to wait and see. Pixar is good at using at their characters, and I enjoyed the Doug short that accompanied Up.
Yes.
He was a good part of that movie Up, and if we get to see maybe more of more Mr. Fredricksen, I have a very bad feeling that they might show the death of Mr. Fredricksen in that series.
Man,
I don't want to deal with that.
Don't depress me right now. Hey,
so let's move on to the next one, which I'm kind of not as excited for. Cars.
Speaking of depressing.
Why do we need more cars? Stop.
Because they are big toy sellers. That's why. Good Lord.
Until I actually get a car that I can drive, I will not support car. I'm just kidding.
It's just the weirdest freaking concept, man. Like, it's awkward when the theme park based off of Cars is better than the actual movie.
Yeah, I do love the rides there. I do love the car rides.
Radiator
car ride is good.
Radiator Springs Racers for the win, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of win, you got this original series right here, Win or Lose. I'm fascinated by this. It sounds interesting. We didn't get much information about it. Like, we just got a brief little synopsis from Pete Docter, but I mean, it's an original series. It's not a spin-off like these two. So I'll be watching this day one. So,
yeah.
But speaking of watching all these day one, look at this beautiful lineup of movies down here. You got Luca first, which is set in Italy this time around. Probably eating a lot of gelato in that one for sure. I want to purchase some gelato for that one. What do you guys think? Does Luca look good to you?
To be honest, I haven't seen the stuff for that one yet, but let me do a quick look at right now.
I know I didn't hear about this one.
I think the animation looks really beautiful. So, I don't know. It looks like it could be.
That looks fun.
Yeah. I think the backgrounds look really neat. It's like I don't want to call it like the Riviera. That's not Italy, but Philippe does not want to think about the Riviera right now. I'm sure. Doesn't want to do the Riviera either. Speaking of not wanting to do, Turning Red. It's about a 13-year-old girl that turns into a big red panda whenever she gets angry. This is This is from the director of that Bow short that we got before Incredibles 2.
Ooh.
You can take your Exorcist. You can take your Hereditary. Here's your hot take of the night. Nothing is more terrifying than Bow. Absolutely nothing more terrifying than Bow to me.
Yeah, it was a weird short.
I remember
very well animated, but weird.
I remember sitting there in the theaters, like, you know how Incredibles 2, it had that little teaser before. It had Sam Jackson and what's her face? Holly Hunter, I think. Whoever's playing Elastigirl. They pop up and they're like, listen, we know it's been a long time. And they're hyping up like how big this release is. And they're like, sit back and enjoy Incredibles 2. And what do I see? Bow. And I'm like, Oh yeah, it's Pixar. We get a short. Most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, I'm curious to see what they do with the full length feature. I'm gonna give it a shot at least, but I'm sure people are gonna hate me down in the comments. But yeah. But here is a huge topic of discussion. This was probably my favorite announcement on the whole night right here. Lightyear. Yeah.
Oh.
Guys, I really don't have the words. What do you guys think?
I can't wait to see Chris
good.
Evans wear the purple mask just to see his face.
Purple mask. You better not.
I'm kind of sad it's not Tim Allen. I won't lie to you. But I love Chris Evans, so
You know, as nostalgic as it would be to hear Tim Allen, I'm kind of glad that we're getting a different take on the character, just because we've had him for 4 movies now, and Chris Evans is just coming off of his big, Marvel contract. So,
right.
This is, you could not think of more perfect casting if you were to think of a new Buzz Lightyear. Chris Evans is spot on for sure. Michael was certainly not complaining about casting with Patrick Warburton, but this is pretty much the Buzz Lightyear origin story, and it's a brilliant idea. Like, I couldn't tell you guys, as soon as I saw the logo pop up, and I was like, oh my God, they're doing a Lightyear solo film? And then Doctor was explaining more of it, and I'm like, brilliant. And then he said Chris Evans. I'm like, I'm there day one. I am there day one. It's favorite.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, favorite announcement of the whole panel, which is certainly saying something, judging from what's coming up next. I don't know though. Do you guys think we get like big weird alien creatures in Lightyear, or do you think it's just like a first man type of thing?
Well, I'm confused about. So is it going to be more like a sci-fi action? Because we all know Buzz Lightyear's like, Space Rangers. So if this is going to be like a Space Rangers movie, then I'm all for it. But if it's going to be a more serious kind of like animated thing about a guy in space, I preferred for Space Rangers, but it's Chris Evans, so I think I'm going to like the movie.
Yeah, I think they're going to do something really funky with this. I don't think they're going to do like a Gravity or like, heck, even
Pixar's Gravity.
Yeah, no, heck, even the Pixar's Martian. I don't think they're even going to do that. But
Pixar's Interstellar.
Maybe this will be even more fun than the Martian, which is saying something. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be something else for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to make me feel like a kid again for sure. Let's see. One more comment before we move on to the big daddies. Michael says the Cars series feels like it's going to be a refresh of those Mater shorts.
Oh.
My friend, why did you have to remind me of those Mater shorts?
Mater.
I like Mater when he's a side character. I don't like him when you put him at the main crux of your movie, like they did with
Cars 3.
No, Cars
2.
Cars 2. Yeah,
I haven't even seen Cars 2. That's how much of an impact Cars 2 has on me.
Pixar's
Cars 1 and 3.
Yeah, Cars 2 is not good. So I don't even own any of the Cars movies because it's just a weird concept. But
I like Cars 1. Cars 1 is fine. They should have stopped. Yeah,
that should have been it. Like, we got a sequel to Cars before we got a sequel to The Incredibles. That just shows you where their priorities are. But anyway,
throw
right. Throw up, yes. No, don't throw up on the air, please. But hey, while we're on the subject of superheroes, my friends, if you guys are enjoying this, by the way, to the viewers, again, thank you all so much for stopping by. Definitely hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Oh, what's this? Another comment? The Cars ride at Disneyland is better than the actual movies. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I remember riding that on my grad night. It was one of the best things ever. So, I mean, if only the movies could hit that level of quality. So, but here's some quality for you guys. And we've got a big big section. Look at all of these beautiful titles we have here from the MCU. Lord Feige stepped on stage, and I was like, okay, what's next here? And oh my God, did he deliver just like he did at Comic-Con last year. So we're getting WandaVision, first of all, January 15th. You guys saw the trailer?
I did.
It looks weird.
I haven't seen it yet, but it seems out there for sure.
It looks.
I know I've seen bits and pieces. It seems out there, but I think it should be cool.
It can be. I think it's going to be really neat. I really like how they're experimenting with changing the aspect ratios there, just to go through all those different eras. But man, I'm really curious to see how this ties into a lot of the other things, because like Wanda and Vision, like I'll be honest, they were the two characters that I wasn't overly invested in the Avengers movies. They just weren't really doing much for me. Leo is geeking out over WandaVision in the chat. But I don't know. I think them getting their own series will be the breath of fresh air that they've needed for a while. Yeah. And Feige did say it was going to tie in directly to this guy right here, Multiverse of Madness, which subsequently is going to tie into Spider-Man 3. Which
yes.
We have got such Tom Holland Spider-Man 3.
Right.
We have gotten a barrage of casting news of people who are either confirmed or rumored to be reprising their roles. You guys are seeing all these news, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Garfield coming back. They just said Alfred Molina is coming back as Doc Ock. You got Jamie Foxx as Electro. Emma Stone apparently is coming back as Gwen Stacy. Kirsten Dunst even, like, all that's missing is Tobey Maguire. Like, you know, it's
dude, if they bring back Tobey Maguire, I'm gonna lose myself.
Dude, like, you know,
Papa Toby.
Yeah.
Papa Toby.
He's my Spider-Man.
He's my Spider-Man. I don't know. Like, he was the one I grew up with for sure, but like
come on. Pizza time.
Like,
Pizza time.
I'm not paying for this. So many weird moments in Spider-Man 2. Like goodness. But yeah, dude, like my main concern with all this casting news is that they're not like giving Tom Holland like his proper like spotlight for Spider-Man 3. Like Cisco's saying just that trailer drop would be insane. I mean, if Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3 multiverse, and with this casting news, makes all the more sense in the world. And people are losing their minds in the comments over Doc Ock. If they bring them back, I'm going to be so hyped. Doc Ock, let's go. Tom Holland is the best combo of Peter and Spidey, Leo says. You know, I would have to agree with you on that. You know, Andrew Garfield, I think, played Spider-Man the best.
That I agree with.
Because I mean, you know, like he webs, you know, robbers in the crotch. You know, he tells jokes when there's a bunch of collateral damage going on behind him instead of saving multiple lives. It's like he was just deciding not to wear a mask right there. But anyway, dropping some pipe bombs here. I don't care. But yeah, no, Toby in my eyes played Peter Parker the best. Andrew played Spider-Man the best. But Tom, I think, is the best combo. I agree, Leo. What do you guys think?
I agree. Yeah, he's the most Spider-Man of the Spider-Men.
Yeah,
it's the Spideyest man.
The Spideyest Spidey. That is
a good combination of the two. I just like I want the like I feel it's kind of funny though, but if like you look at it, I feel like Spider-Man has like gone down and like in age as well, which makes sense. Like Spider-Man's supposed to be like a young adult teen. I mean, like when we start off with Toby, then go to Andrew, and so now Tom Holland. Like we definitely had like a decrease in age. It'd be funny. I know it won't happen, but if somehow like they do Into the Spider-Verse 2 or something when that comes out, if they get those three and then this combine them to have them be another multiverse thing would be funny.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. Like if they do that iconic like meme picture where all the Spider-Men are pointing at each other in the MCU, I will lose. I'm pretty sure everybody would lose their collective mind in the theater because they did announce that both of them were going to theaters. They didn't say anything about it going directly to Disney Plus because, for one, it's a year away, and we still, we're making a lot of progress, I think. But yeah, definitely excited to see this. I really want Nightmare to be the villain in Multiverse of Madness right here. Just because he was the trippiest, I think, of Doctor Strange's villains. And dream casting, I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think of this. I really want to see Gary Oldman come in and play Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm down.
Like,
I love Gary Oldman.
One of the best actors alive right now, for sure. Like, all due respect, but like Gary Oldman, come on now. I think it's I don't know, but yeah. But next we did get a Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer drop.
Let's go.
Oh man, it looks
go.
It looks so much better than I was expecting it to be, and it made me
I'm so excited,
so happy. It looks to me like it's one of those old school buddy cop movies, almost like a Lethal Weapon.
Dude, it's gonna be good.
Man, like, and we finally got a release date too. March 19th cannot come soon enough. What do you think, Philippe?
No, I think I'm kind of excited to see how that pans out because I really like. I mean, we all know what happened at the end, and just like, but like to be able to see them like kind of team together and like just to see what they'll be facing or like kind of how they'll pull it off. I think that they'll probably do a pretty good job with because those are both solid characters and then together like kind of trying to.
I love them.
Probably achieve the partnership and so forth. Good story.
Yeah. Like I said, it looks like a buddy cop movie, so I am all for that. It's supposed to go only 6 episodes. I don't know if it's just going to be a season, but hey, if they find a way to work in a second season, I'm all for it, just because the trailer just looks awesome. Speaking of trailers, we also got one for this guy right here. Now, what were you guys thinking when they announced that Loki was getting a series? And be honest with me.
I was happy. I like Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
They did him dirty in the movies. I wanted to see him more in the movies, and especially in Infinity War and Endgame. But
yeah,
the trailer looks very fun.
What do you think, Philippe? Before I be controversial,
I mean, I haven't watched the trailer, but per se for Loki, I do like Loki in the Marvel universe. I think it's kind of interesting though of like, is it the show or movie we're getting for it?
It's
again?
the show. It's going to be another series on Disney Plus.
Like for me, I like Loki is still not like a main like Norse mythology god and tends to be like more of the guy that causes a nuisance, which is still fun, and I can get that for a show. So like we'll see how it goes. I mean, I know from all the different instances of Loki out there, whether it be in video games or the actual Norse mythology, it's like it's a little bit different. So I liked him in Marvel and against Thor and stuff. But I don't know on how well it'll pan out for like being either a lengthy or like TV series. But I'm interested to see how it turn out.
Here's the thing. When they announced that he was getting a series based off of what happened to him in Endgame, I was like, they gave his character a perfect send-off in Infinity War in my eyes. But I was like, okay, I'll watch it, but it wasn't something I was overly excited about. But I will say when they dropped the trailer, they completely proved me wrong. It looks freaking awesome.
Okay.
They put Owen Wilson in this series.
Yeah.
He looks like Howard Stark to me. Not implying anything, but not saying that's who he's playing, but that's who he looks like. I don't know, but I did say collectively, I'm sure with every Owen Wilson fan out there, oh wow, he's in the series. Oh wow, wow. I play Lightning McQueen, and now I'm in Loki. But yeah, so we also got a trailer for this little guy. What if? Animation looks incredible.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it looks very similar to the Bad Batch in a lot of ways. Looks like it can be fun, but
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Keeping on the subject of series, we got Hawkeye. They didn't give us a release date, but they did say Haley Steinfeld is playing Kate Bishop, and that is perfect casting. Spot on. Miss Marvel looks really fun.
Yep.
Let's see. What other trailers or series are there? She-Hulk. She-Hulk is one that I'm like, I don't know.
I hope it goes well. That's what I hope for. I hope that it goes well. That's what I would want.
Me too. You know, I feel like the Hulk has not gotten his proper. Well, I mean, he did back in 2008, but Edward Norton was playing him, not Mark Ruffalo. So it's like the black sheep of the MCU in a lot of ways.
Yep.
And Universal was behind it too. So, and they still kind of hold the rights to the Incredible Hulk name, and the solo movies. But I don't know. I mean, they're saying Mark Ruffalo is going to return in this series, and they're also saying Tim Roth is going to return in this series as Abomination. So, I mean,
good.
As a big Tarantino fan, I'm excited to see Tim Roth again. But I didn't even mention. This is probably the series this are the series I'm most looking forward to. But then you have Moon Knight down here. That series is going to be awesome. Out of curiosity, though, I don't know why Kevin Feige did not mention that Oscar Isaac was playing him.
Is he really?
That's what's been rumored.
Ooh.
That's what's been rumored, but he didn't say Oscar Isaac explicitly. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they haven't struck a deal with that yet, but it should be soon because that's perfect casting. Just saying. What do you think, Philippe?
I could see him playing as Moon Knight. I mean, I feel like Moon Knight is a very cool character out of kind of the DC stuff too, but he's definitely for the Marvel stuff, just because I mean it basically is like a Marvel Batman. So I feel like it's kind of out there out of all the things that they are picking from and choosing to. So hopefully it's good. Maybe it could be a good kind of dark, gritty Marvel, but I don't know.
Yeah. It looks like, man, I'm really, really pulling for that series. I hope they can really do some special things with that. I mean, as with all of these, but Moon Knight especially. You got Secret Invasion. That's going to be a series and
it's going to be awesome.
Not a film like I was expecting. I mean, the Krees and the Skrulls, that fight is going to be really neat. I'm glad that Nick Fury's getting the Star Vehicle here. I'm really glad to see Rhodey get the Star Vehicle in Armor Wars up here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I feel like both of these, this and Ironheart up in the corner, they just feel like retreads. I just feel like I've seen these series before. I don't know. They're just the ones that I'm least looking forward to, personally.
I'm always excited for some more Don Cheadle.
Oh, Don Cheadle's great, but I don't know if I'm in the same boat as you guys, but these two are probably the ones I was least excited for.
Well, I'll have to see. Armor Wars, I think, might be cooler since it's a bunch of Tony Stark Iron Man suits fighting, kind of like End of Iron Man 2 kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Iron Man 2, so.
Oh man, you're one of the few.
That was the one with Whiplash in it, right?
It was the one with Mickey Rourke. Yeah,
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah,
I like the end of that movie. It's a cool ending.
It's a neat ending.
It's a neat ending. It's cool. War Machine makes an appearance, so I like it.
Do you like Iron Man 2, Philippe?
To be honest, it's been a while. I don't remember it being like bad, but I understand probably out of the Iron Mans, it was probably not maybe one of the best. But
It is
you know,
fun trash is what that is. So yeah, I think that just about does it for the series. I mean, we also get these two announcements right here, which is kind of interesting. They announced I Am Groot, which is a series of shorts with Baby Groot, which I'm sure will please all the kids and my mom plenty. But
Yep.
then you have the holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, that was one I was not expecting. I saw the logo for Guardians pop up, and I'm like, oh, here's Volume 3. Here we go. And then he said, oh, well, you've heard about how Star Wars has its holiday special. And I'm like,
that's just
well,
what
first of all, that's not
They're
a
doing
good.
that.
That's not a good comparison.
Yeah, no,
It's not.
exactly.
It's not, you know, but like, I'm definitely curious to see how they do this. They said that they were going to be filming this concurrently with Volume 3. And it's supposed to come out before Volume 3. So I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the holiday special down in the chat, because I'm not expecting much from it, but maybe that's what'll make it so great, is that I wasn't expecting much and it turns out to be amazing. But yeah, I think that's all the series here. But the movies that are left over, man, you got Black Widow here, which has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back again. I'm just excited to see that now. I just am impatient. You know,
that one seems fun. That one I'm actually pretty excited for too.
It looks
It'll be good.
I don't know if I'm in the same boat with you guys, but it looks like the equivalent of the Bourne saga for Marvel. The Marvel Bourne. Like, maybe even...
Well, there's probably going to be a little bit more of a fun spin to it versus, I mean, because Bourne is pretty serious, and I mean, I know the Black Widow, she herself and that, but it seems like there's still going to be that little bit of that like comedic comic humor to lighten things up a little bit with it being Marvel. So,
yeah, that's very true. How about Marvel's answer to Mission Impossible? Then is that more accurate? Maybe.
I think so, only because Black Widow from the trailers looks a lot more action packed than. Like Jason Bourne, it is different action. Like Bourne was different action. Like you saw her free falling through debris and like shooting dudes in the air. So I was like,
oh, looks so awesome. Hey, speaking of different action, this one just wrapped filming. Shang Chi up at the top. Loving that representation there. I'm so excited to see that. I'm not like as big into martial arts movies as a lot of other people are. What do you guys think of Shang Chi?
I didn't know of this Marvel character, but I'm excited for martial arts movie. I mean, for me, like I just always think of Ip Man now whenever I think of any martial arts movie. I don't know, that's what always comes to mind for me. But I'm excited if they can pull off a good martial arts. If Disney's able to pull off like a good martial arts movie, you know, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I have every faith they will.
I mean, if the action in Mulan was any good, I guess we'll get a good action in the movie. But, you know, if we have the action of Mulan with the storytelling capabilities of the Marvel team, we'll probably get a good movie.
Yeah. You know, the action was at least semi cool in Mulan, but I'm assuming this one's going to be better. But I mean, that guy that's playing Shang-Chi just looks so excited to be doing it. And we're going to be getting the actual Mandarin in this, which should be an interesting little twist. I like the director of this, Destin Daniel Cretton, his name is. He deserves a lot more credit for his work. He did Just Mercy, which is a movie I loved. But I don't know, I'm excited to see what he does with it. You got Eternals here. They're really dipping into the D-list of Marvel characters, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. And, like, Kumail Nanjiani got all jacked for the part. Like, did you see that? Like, he is gigantic now. Like, he looks like he could, you know, really do some damage. But, like, I mean, I'm excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see the reunion between Richard Madden and Kit Harington. As a Game of Thrones fan, someone that's just getting into it, so we'll see. Let's see. What's up? How you doing? Glad you're joining us. We're just talking about the Marvel announcements right now. We've already gone through all the Star Wars and the Pixar stuff, and we had some fun arguments about that, as per. Let's see. But yeah, Eternals looks good. Captain Marvel 2. Not that excited for it, honestly.
Really?
No. Did you guys like Captain Marvel?
I did.
I thought it was good. I don't know how I could see a sequel could be good, but I did like its one off on how it went and its tie into the end. But yeah, I don't know. It still could be good. Still could be okay. I just don't know what they're going to be taking it. I mean, of course, it's going to be, I would imagine, after, or it could be, she was in another galaxy, another place, or whatever the case is. They have a lot of leeway of where this second Captain Marvel can go.
Yeah, it's supposed to tie in directly to the Miss Marvel series over here. So I don't know. We'll see how they do with that. I did have a couple of comments for this next one that I wanted to show. All this hype for Blade in the comments. Dude, when Mahershala Ali walked out, he was announced as Blade at Comic-Con last year. That was so awesome. I cannot wait to see what he does with the character. I mean, if they wanted to get really crazy with the multiverse, they could bring Wesley Snipes back technically, but I mean,
dude, that'd be awesome.
The Blade movies are kind of like the first Blade movies, not my favorite, but under Feige's watch, I have every faith he can pull it off. What do you guys think?
I'm excited. I have to say, Blade is a cool character, and I don't think I've ever seen the Blade movies. So I'm excited to get to know the character, and I'll have to go watch Wesley Snipes Blade, and then get hyped for the new one.
Absolutely. Philippe, what do you think?
I feel like,
oh no,
like I've won because there was probably what is it? Isn't it rated R? Right, or is it PG-13?
I think here. Let me look real quick because I have it right here. Yeah, the first two. Well, yeah, they're all rated R, basically.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing bits of pieces of my parents watching the movie, but I was young at the point where I just I couldn't I was just seeing bits and pieces.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh for sure.
Hopefully, it lives up better than the movie that is already created.
Well.
So,
I mean, it's not that the first two were bad. Blade Trinity just kind of put a poor taste in my mouth, But, I mean, everybody's excited. Blade, of course, gets me pumped. Mahershala Ali is going to kill it. I agree, my friend. And he was announced as something I never thought of, but damn, perfect casting. Yes, absolutely. And Austin says it's rated R. Yep, it sure is. So, yeah, you got Blade. Maybe that's going to be rated R. Maybe that's going to be Feige's, experimentation with that before he brings Deadpool in, but because Deadpool's coming sooner or later, so I'm excited.
He's already technically part of the Marvelverse.
He technically is. Yep, and especially after the Fox acquisition, he's there. How about this one, Thor: Love and Thunder? That one is one of the ones I'm most hyped for because Ragnarok is one of my favorites. I love what Taika Waititi did. Oh man, yeah, that's one that I tend to gravitate towards and rewatch tons, just because it was just so fun, and they finally did right by Thor. And they did announce officially that Christian Bale is coming in to play Gore, the villain.
Gore the God Butcher.
Gore the God Butcher. They're gonna have to Voldemort him up plenty for that, which I'm sure they will have no problem with. If you saw the design of Gore in the comics, yeah, I'm excited to see what he does there. I don't know. I think this has potential to be better than Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting Natalie Portman back into the mix.
Yeah.
Gonna have some the rise of the Lady Thor. Probably we have to see what they do.
Yeah, with all these new Avengers coming in.
If it's Natalie Portman, I'm not gonna have a problem with it.
Yeah. Kevin's not very excited about Natalie Portman coming back, though. He didn't think she was very good at Thor 1 and 2.
Thor. I mean, we don't talk about Thor: The Dark World ever. That's not a good movie.
It's boring. It's on my shelf behind me, but I don't remember ever having to pull it off except for, a marathon. But
I liked the first Thor movie.
Yeah, that one's fine. Kenneth Branagh directed it, and that was, it's visually a stunning film. But the problem with those is that it brought such a weird character in Thor, and they thought to make him relatable, you bring him down to Earth. Thor belongs up in the galaxy, like he did in Ragnarok, and he deserves to be the god of thunder. So they didn't exactly do that with Thor 1 and 2, and they did it with Ragnarok. So I don't know. This is Chris Hemsworth's send-off, though. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, it's sad to think about. It makes me feel old. But we got 3 more movies over here. We got Black Panther 2 down here in the corner. I didn't exactly address this in any of my videos, but I miss Chadwick Boseman every single day.
Same, dude.
Oh, man. This is a weird story that I haven't told anyone, but I was actually at the drive-in waiting to see the New Mutants when I got the news that Boseman had passed. And I was just depressed throughout the whole film. Like, I just couldn't handle it. I was like, oh, this is awful. I'm going to see his final movie on Friday on Netflix, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. But Feige did announce that they're not going to recast him, which I think is definitely the right thing to do.
Yep.
To preserve his legacy. But at the same time, who's going to fill that void? Who do you guys think?
Well, there's always the rumors of his sister in the show, in the movies, doing it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I wouldn't be upset about that. That would be nice. The real tragedy is that they killed off Killmonger, and I think he could have been redeemed into the role of Black Panther. But
quite easily, yeah, because you understood Killmonger. Like, you understood why he was doing what he was doing. And Michael B. Jordan is one of the best actors of our generation, too. So bringing him back would be quite easy if you didn't kill him off. I agree with that. But yeah, now in light of the actress's controversial comments on Twitter, to say the least, I'm not entirely excited about her stepping in. I would much rather see Winston Duke as M'Baku step into that role. But again, I can't exactly have everything I want. But in any case, what do you think, Philippe?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could see the sister pulling it off on like trying to be like kind of that part for Black Panther 2. Or I don't know on how else they can. I mean, I guess there is a little bit more ways to do it, but maybe the whole movie is like them trying to figure out who will be or who will like hold that position of power, of like who will be like Black Panther.
Yeah, right.
And maybe it might not be like something of like the one person will then be over like taking over the Black Panther role, or maybe it's just everyone in tribute to what he's done, like, but like as a Black Panther character. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
we'll
hopefully
see.
They do it well and do it justice. So
yeah, and I'm sure they will, and I'm sure there will be big standing ovations when they say this film is dedicated to Chadwick Boseman's memory. Yeah. We got let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania real quick before we get to this final film, and then we'll do the comments also. But Ant-Man 3, I'm like, yeah, it exists, I
gotta say, I really dig all of Paul Rudd being Ant-Man.
Yes, dude,
that is probably the most choice casting
100%.
since Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man.
Yes. Yeah. Paul Rudd is just so
Paul
likable.
Rudd Ant-Man is so awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Philippe, does
Such a
anyone have any?
lovable and like silly character?
Does anyone have any orange slices? Any orange slices? Anybody? No.
No.
No. Ant-Man and the freaking airport duel with Civil
Yeah.
War. That was his line.
Oh,
He gets knocked out. It's
Does
like,
anyone have any orange slices?
God.
Ah, man, I can't believe I had to
Got it,
explain that
man.
joke.
It's too long.
Yeah, but
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
Ant-Man
I'm
3.
sorry we let you down there, Zach.
You're fine. You're fine. Let's get to some of these comments first before we get to this last movie. Leo says Dark World was quite bad.
yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Kevin says, I'm glad they're not recasting Black Panther. I think the Black Panther should go to his sister. I think the Black Panther didn't do a good job of portraying Killmonger's character. What are you talking about? What do you mean it didn't do a good job of portraying Killmonger? I'm confused. Because I thought he was like the best Marvel villain not named Thanos. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I thought it was great. I thought he had the best motivation of all, some of the best motivation of all the Marvel villains. Up there with Thanos and Baron Nemo.
Baron Nemo.
Yep.
That's his name now. I'm not gonna hear it any other way. Baron Nemo. And Baku would be sick. Yeah, sweet. I agree with you there. Awesome. Yeah, Winston Duke deserves way more love. But let's see. Oh, here we are. Here are all these comments about my favorite announcement of this bunch. Michael says he's very cautiously optimistic about the Fantastic Four. I am extremely excited about the Fantastic Four because under Feige's watch, you're finally going to get the Fantastic Four done right.
Yeah.
You know, like he announced Don Watts was the director of it. A lot of people really hate that choice, I've noticed, but I'm like, give the dude a chance. You know, like I know Peyton Reed was really passionate about wanting to do it, but in my eyes, having the Spider-Man director helm that, how do I put this? Spider-Man and the Human Torch should be homies. They should be close to the same age. So I think having the Spider-Man director come in and deal with these characters as well, I think it's going to only help that chemistry along better. So I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think of this Fantastic Four announcement?
It's got a lot of expectation behind it.
It's got a lot of hype.
All the number of Fantastic Four. It's like soon we're gonna just run. Maybe who knows? Maybe we're just gonna run out of Fantastic Four titles because literally there's been so many like versions and titles of Fantastic Four. They've just have been kind of elusive. It seems like for people to pin down and like actually keep it running and keep it
and
good. So maybe I don't mean in any way. Maybe Fantastic Four itself, as amazing they are in cinema world, is just cursed. You know, maybe it's just not meant to be as good as it's supposed to be.
As amazing as they are in the cinema world,
would it work better as a series? That's a question.
No, I mean not. They're not like the comic book wise, their Fantastic Four is great. In the cinema world, all the Fantastic Four movies, except for maybe the very first ones we got, were good. Past that, like all the redos, it hasn't been there, I feel like. So maybe I'm just saying maybe you can't get better than what was the first released. Maybe it's just like maybe it might be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, like the one with Chris Evans as Johnny was fun. I mean, they're products of their time, though. But I hate to burst your bubble fully, but you can't possibly be talking about Fantastic being a part of this, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, Fan Four Stick. The trash with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan, and
Yeah, that was not a good movie.
yeah, no, that's not a Fantastic Four movie. That's they think it's a Fantastic Four movie, but it's
Got
not.
it.
It's just bad.
Okay. I get it. Yeah, that's more or less what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. Oh, interesting comment here. I just want Doctor Doom in the MCU. I do too. But my concern is that he's been done to death with all these films that Philippe was just talking about, that they might just gravitate towards a different villain instead. And that actually is a brilliant segue. Thank you for that comment, because I wanted to talk about this casting real quick, this hypothetical casting. Because that was pretty much the only thing we didn't get. I've been seeing a lot of them floating around. Doctor Doom is one of those that just has to be perfect. I was thinking Giancarlo Esposito at first for this, but the more and more I think about it, somebody mentioned they're probably going to go with a younger Doctor Doom, and I'm like, you're totally right. So they'll probably save Giancarlo for when the mutants come around, if they're going to use him in this universe. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
Let's see here.
He's looking for casting choices.
I mean, you can't get any worse than the last one.
No, not at all.
So
you can only go up, maybe?
You can only go up. I mean, you have to compete with Chris Evans' Human Torch, which was, I have to admit, pretty hilarious. So I would love to see Giancarlo Esposito be a Doctor Doom, but I think he's going to be very busy in The Mandalorian, depending on how the end of this season turns out. But either way, he would be good. Who else could be it?
I was thinking Andrew Lincoln from Walking Dead. Like, you haven't really seen him play a villain. I think he could, but I mean, as long as I get an MCU Silver Surfer,
ooh, yeah.
like I'd honestly really love to see Keanu Reeves play the Silver Surfer.
Dude, that'd be funny.
It seems like a weird choice, but like I'm not kidding you. They've wanted Keanu in the MCU for so long. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh, Keanu could just play Reed Richards because he looks like him. And I'm like, no, Keanu is nothing like Reed Richards. Like,
you know, it would be really ironic and totally not happen, but and especially because we already have one. I would love to see Keanu Reeves play the Punisher.
Oh my God! Oh man!
Even though I love John Barenthal Punisher, it would just make sense because he technically already plays the Punisher in John Wick. But
they could.
Be awesome.
I mean, just do like what
multiverse theory
of Keanu Reeves' face.
Oh, I can't.
Multiverse theory. Now. They bring in Keanu as John Wick, but he's the Punisher of the John Wick is the Punisher, and that's like the thing. And then,
ooh,
dude,
that would be hilarious. That would be a good connection right there.
I can't unsee that now. like the more I think about it, the more I want it. But at the same time, like I've also heard the rumors that they're actually bringing back Charlie Cox as Daredevil for Spider-Man. So
I just found some a cut of Keanu Reeves Punisher, and it looks pretty dope. It looks cool.
Kevin disagrees with the Keanu Punisher. Just watch John Wick. I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
we need the skull on it.
But you can give someone the John Wick DVD, give them the John Wick DVD, but then just say it's Punisher, then have them watch it and just make them think it's the Punisher. I mean, that probably works just the same.
just pull John Wick off the shelf and then just tape the word Punisher on the Blu-ray case.
Yeah. You know,
That-
just watch that. I mean, John Wick. Yeah, you're watching John Wick or The Punisher.
Easy fix.
Can we
But
all just say what we really want to see back? Can we all just not pretend that we don't want to see Nicolas Cage come back as Ghost Rider?
oh, jeez. I mean, if they
Oh man!
if they ever bring Ghost Rider into the MCU, I think they're gonna want to portray him a little bit more seriously than
Nah,
Nick
come
Cage.
on, dude. What's wrong with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah,
No
what's wrong with
disrespect.
Nick Cage?
He was
What's
the
wrong
best
with-
Punisher. He was the best Ghost Rider. What are you talking about?
Those Ghost Rider movies were bad. They were so bad. I mean, you can still watch them and laugh at them. They're like, they're entertainingly bad.
I'm the Ghost Rider. I have a spirit of vengeance.
I would honestly, just off the cuff, like if I were to go with a more serious Ghost Rider, I would just think Tom Hardy.
That would be dope.
I'm being
I
completely
would like
honest.
that.
Tom Hardy would be a kick-ass Ghost Rider, like no questions. But I mean, obviously with the Fantastic Four, like the actual four casting, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are the two obvious ones.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see that just to fulfill their MCU destiny that's been like 10 years bubbling under the surface. But I did see one fan casting online that said Ryan Gosling and Carey Mulligan as Reed and Sue, respectively. And I'm like, Ryan Gosling would be incredible as Reed. Like, I'm cool with that. I don't know. But you got those. I wanted John Cena as the Thing.
Yes, that's all I'd ask for.
Philippe keeps laughing at this every time I tell him, oh, John Cena should play the Thing. But the more I think about it, I don't think it's feasible because he's going to be busy with the Peacemaker. He's going to be really, really busy.
Dude, Terry Crews.
What?
Yeah, come on, dude.
I
As the
didn't even
Thing,
think about that.
actually, I could see that. I could legit see that. I'd watch that. I would watch Terry Crews as the Thing.
I would too. I'm not even lying. I think if they wanted to go completely fun and wacky with this Fantastic Four, like by all means. But I mean, I would say,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would say Joel Edgerton if you wanted to go serious with the Thing. But I don't know. Again, not my say. If any Marvel execs are somehow watching this, there you go. But yeah, Human Torch has to be the same age. I was thinking Ansel Elgort, Zachary Montgomery. Zachary Montgomery from Stranger Things would be good. He's been the obvious choice. I have a bone to pick actually with this Human Torch casting hypothetical. A lot of people are saying Zac Efron. My problem is that Zac Efron is way too old for the Human Torch. That's weird saying that, but he's too old to play the Human Torch. Adam Warlock, maybe. Warlock, maybe. Human Torch, no.
I'm trying to think what the actor's name is.
What is his name? I love him.
He was
John Cena should be the Thing. You know what, man?
backing back to the Thing. You could do Vin Diesel. I'm the Thing.
We're family.
We're family.
We're family. Off topic. If anybody is happening to be watching the Fast movies, take a shot every time Vin Diesel talks about family. You'll be dead by the end of the first movie. But as fun as that choice is, I don't think that he should play the Thing because he's already voicing Groot.
Yeah. I agree. It would be funny.
I think it'd just be really distracting. So, thank you, Kevin. You agree with my Zac Efron casting? No, we're not casting Miro as the Thing. We're not doing that. And we're not casting Terry Crews as Spider-Man either. What the heck are you doing?
Terry Crews could be a cool, like, he could be like an older Spider-Man, like Spider-Man 2099 or something. Could be like another alternate universe Spider-Man.
Oh my god, dude! Like this Spider-Verse thing is really gonna get to me, friends. But yeah,
I'm looking at the fan casting, and what's not a bad option is Ewan McGregor for Mr.
for Reed Richards.
For Reed Richards.
That's not a bad choice either. How old is Ewan McGregor? I need to fact check this real quick.
Not that old.
He's not. I know he's not, but like I feel like just depending on, they might want to go with somebody a little bit younger for it.
Come on, man. He's 49.
He's 40. No,
But he looks
Doom.
like he's 35.
Give him Dr. Doom. Give
Actually,
him
I'm
Dr.
okay with
Doom.
that. Yep, that's okay.
Yeah. Give him Dr. Doom. That's fine. Ed Asner as the Thing? No. No. Santa Claus from Elf.
Tim Allen as the Thing.
No. Oh man. Well, fellas, before
With
this,
Reed Richards as Jerry Seinfeld.
yeah, I feel like this is a perfect spot to end this stream before this gets way too out of hand with the ridiculous fan castings. Thank you all for joining me. Devin, Philippe, this was so much fun. Fellas, I'm sure this will not be the last time we do this. This was a blast. I hope you all in the chat had a blast as well. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can. It really does help out the channel. It's free. Don't tell anybody. But I'll also give you cookies if if you subscribe, I may give you cookies. Hey, here's Lauren, but he's Carl Fredrickson. Okay. Oh, okay. Ed
Talk about that.
Yeah. That's coming, Kevin. I promise you. That's coming. Yeah, guys. If you enjoyed this stream, go ahead and leave a big fat thumbs up on your way out. It really does help out this channel as well. Expect Stebbins and Philippe both back very, very soon. He is liking Leo is also liking Ewan would be awesome. As Dr. Doom. I didn't even want to tell this comment. Good Lord. Tom Holland is not playing the Thing. That'd be really
everyone. My name's Keeman Thompson. I'm Dr. Doom. I see it in my brain and I love it. I'm on board with that.
Good Lord. All right, folks. Well, with all that being said, back talk commence. End the broadcast.